Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sohum and I'm on a mission to spread peace, love, and positivity through music. Today, I'm bringing you another double reaction, and this time it's to two artists that, we haven't reacted to before on this channel. Well, bands, I should say. The first is going to be Rock Candy Funk Party, which actually is one of Joe Bonamassa side projects who we have heard before, so this is going to be really fun to hear him in another one of his side projects, side quests, maybe a cooler way to put it. So we'll start there. The song will be Dope on a Rope. Then we'll check out Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs for the first time. The song will be Electric Gypsy. I don't know necessarily what to expect in terms of style and genre from these bands, but, hearing something new never deterred me because, the entire point of my channel is to discover new music. So today I'm happy to be doing that, and that is all thanks to William the Orchestral for making this donation request. It means a lot to me, William, and helps guide the direction for reactions I do over here. But now, let's just jump in. Well, their name is Funk, so I'm expecting some funk, which we're already getting. But Rock Candy Funk is interesting. Is that coming from the keys and Joe, or just the keys? Oh wow. Okay, I'm really digging the beat. Oh yeah, we got the funk in there, the syncopated guitar. Off the rip. The deep groove-heavy bass line here. Also, JB in not a suit is a very different look. I wonder if we're gonna get vocals in this. Oh yeah. I love how there's this like 70s funk club energy with this super modern polish. And also, this is just like more of a statement about Joe, but I think it applies to this production as well. But this is a magnificent showcase of musicianship without feeling like it's overly self-indulgent. Does that make sense? proggy bass line. It is so, it's so, what would you call it? Like sticks out. It's a very distinct sound, but I just love how tightly everything is together. That's why I kind of say there's like this modern polish. It's all very punchy. It's all in time, but it still feels relaxed. There's so much going on. Hi-hat went away. I love the back and forth with the guitars. Guitar overload, it's happening. Oh wow. So no vocals in that. Oh. Maybe I should have like done a little bit more thinking of like what could Rock Candy Funk Party even sound like? Because I went into this just fully blind, not having any semblance of genre and just knowing that JB was going to take part. So, you know, with JB I expect a lot of like slow moving melody, but this was a lot more fast-paced, filled with swagger. Kind of feels like you could use this soundtrack as like you could use this song as like a soundtrack in a Tarantino film, you know, something to do with like a retro heist. I don't know even how to describe some of the like funky elements, because it was at moments hard for me to tell if it was strictly coming from the keys or the bass or some combination of the two. I guess my money would be on the combination of the two rather than JB specifically creating that funk in the lows. But I just love this overall like fusion flavor. Something about it feels very Louisiana Bayou to me, despite me not ever, well, I have been to Louisiana, but I haven't grown up in the Louisiana Bayou. What does dope on a rope mean? I didn't even think really about the song title. Dope on a rope. Like dope, a euphemism for drugs, on a rope? And what is a rope a euphemism for? Dope on a rope. Like a bundle. Let me look this up quick. Let's see if I can figure out the answer. Dope on a rope meaning. Dope on a rope has two meanings. In boxing, it's a tactic where a fighter leans against the ropes to absorb punches, tiring out their opponent before launching a counterattack. Figuratively, it describes a strategy where one appears to be losing or passive, but is actually biding time for a later advantage. Okay, well, I have no idea how that necessarily relates to the musicality here, or why they decided to name this song that, but this is cool. Cool foray into the world, or at least one of the numerous worlds of JB, and this one doesn't wear a suit. That's so unusual. Let's jump into Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs. Oh, immediately country.
a dusty road. Got the wind in my back, carrying a heavy load.
It's slower moving than the first track.
From Algiers to Santa Barbara, and every mile in between, I've looked for safe harbor, and I wash my soul clean. Yeah. I've been alone nearly all my life. The road is open wide. Electric gypsy, take the wheel and drive for a while.
I think less country now that I think about it, more like this blues / like folk rock inspired tune. Love the expressive bends. Guitar melody is rather chill overall. It still has that twang to it, which is why I think country came to my mind initially. But I think more of what makes this song interesting is like this romanticization, this idea of just being untethered and seemingly here driven by adventure, right? Being picked up on the road, not knowing necessarily where they're going, being driven by music and adventure, you know, taking those long road trips from like city to city to city. I've always like loved the idea of bands going on tour, everybody collectively in that tour bus, just hanging out, writing music, practicing, sleeping at odd hours, just kind of living that chaotic lifestyle. I would love to experience something like that at least once, to say that I have, and be able to then come at it from a less theoretical place and more of a practical one. But the song definitely feels like it has that we're on the road, we're driving, we don't know where we're going kind of quality about it.
For a while. Out where the wild wind's blowing, and under the London Bridge, I've seen the high grass growing across the valley and up the ridge. The sky's my companion, the ocean is my friend. Sometimes I feel abandoned, fighting demons from within. Yeah. And I've been alone nearly all my life, and the road is open wide. Electric gypsy, take the wheel and drive for a while. For a while. No, it ain't been easy. For me and my electric gypsy. Oh,
Oof. Those three chords, man, bow, 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 just works remarkably well. It feels like when you take that just simple structure and you spread it across the entire tune, which is what they did here, um, it's all building to that huge climactic solo moment, at least structurally. That's how it feels, because of course the verses and even the earlier choruses are rather relaxed compared to what we hear in that guitar solo that is the full expulsion of the energy that this track is kind of building up towards. So when you have this very consistent chord progression that leads us by moment to moment to moment, we get used to the repetition, and that becomes our kind of our basal state, if you will. And for me, after a while, once I've like settled into that melody or that rhythm, then my attention goes to all of the other, let's say, more complex musical elements that surround the track. And of course, in this case, you have this massive electric guitar solo. So to me, that is the clear highlight and is my favorite component of this song. And I love, like, even in the solo, he's just bending up almost all the way, I think, to the 24th fret, just spamming the note and letting it really ride. So it's like you're taking this electric wave and setting it all the way up here, and then just hammering it repeatedly to kind of emphasize the point. And I don't even really think about the meaning of this song as much as I did earlier once like the solo kind of kicked into gear, but I guess the idea of the electric gypsy all revolves around the driver of this kind of like RV tour bus camper thing. Let the electric gypsy take us wherever. But also my thought was, electric gypsy, electric guitar, is there any reason they used electric as the like adjective there, possibly to relate to guitar? And of course then you can compare acoustic and electric guitar and the emotions that both of those different instruments imbue. You can go different places with electric guitar than you can with acoustic. So presumably if there's an electric gypsy, it kind of implies the existence of an acoustic gypsy. Yeah, that's one of my dumb jokes for you. But I think, where do I land on this song? I think it's my first foray into the world of Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs. I'm unfamiliar with these names and artists, so I would probably need to hear more to get an overall sense of their style. Though I think I still preferred, just in a vacuum, the Rock Candy Funk Party track and JB's guitar solo to what we heard here. But I'm curious to hear your perspectives on what their style is like, what their sound is like. How do you listen to them? In what environment you listen to them? Like, this song for me feels like an on the road kind of a tune. But again, let me know your perspectives on it in the comments below, or just help out further out for the algorithm, all that good stuff. But that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you did and would like to request one yourself, please hit the first link down below. But as always, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.